Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. I hope you're enjoying some rest this week. It's kind of a slow week. Uh, Sunday we read the story of the slaughter of the innocents, where King Herod tells the wise men wants to go and worship the new king too, and then they escape a different way, and Herod gets angry and has all the children killed in Bethlehem. That's um, That's actually the story that is celebrated in the church on December 28th, today, among those churches that actually celebrate saints and things, which the Presbyterian Church is decidedly not one of, but we'll leave that alone. The, um, the, uh, the story is a terrible one, and a lot of people say, well, if Jesus is coming to save us, why would these children have to die? And so many children. So let's look at that. Herod sends his men to Bethlehem to kill all the children who were 2 years of age or younger, which statistically and people who study these things say, well, at most, that was probably 25 to 40 children. This is not a huge number. Now, it's terrible that the soldiers would come in and kill any children, but it wasn't thousands of children or all the children of Israel or anything like that. It was just the ones who were born around that time in that village. But Jesus, of course, escapes with Joseph and Mary as they go over to Egypt, where Herod can't find them or do anything about that. So we have this story. Matthew ties it back to Old Testament stories through the use of quoting some prophecy from Jeremiah about Rachel weeping for her children. But we also have here an echo of when the Hebrews were enslaved in Egypt way, way back, and Pharaoh decided they were becoming too numerous and too strong, and proclaimed that all of the male babies would be drowned in the Nile. And Moses' mother puts an end to that problem by putting him in a basket and floating him over to where the princess was bathing. And so Moses survives a time when we're going to kill all the babies. And so it's stories like that Matthew is bringing up and sort of echoing as he reflects on Israel's history and Jesus' birth, and tries to tie the two together and show that Jesus is the fulfillment of all this that's gone before. And so we find that parallel in the scriptures. You also find in the stories that are told, some churches will celebrate, the Orthodox Church will celebrate, the 14,000 or 1,400 martyrs of Bethlehem, and you're thinking, 1,400? There's no way it was that many children, or 14,000. No, but it's these numbers are symbolic. If you take 12, which is the number for completeness and wholeness, and you square it, you get 144. And you multiply that by 1,000 because it's so many, then you get this huge number, 144,000, which is a symbolic sort of number, and we see that in other places in the New Testament where numbers are used that way. But these children are the innocents. They didn't do anything to Herod. They weren't a threat to Herod. He just has them killed. And so they are actually the first martyrs. Stephen is the first Christian martyr, but even before him, these innocents had died because of Jesus. And so we shouldn't forget them. We should remember that his coming was costly for those people who lived in Bethlehem at the time, and for others who were involved even peripherally in his life, and then those who made the decision to follow him. This is a costly decision. Discipleship is costly. It's free, but it cost us everything. People have said, and I think Dietrich Bonhoeffer said it best, but he's not alone. It's discipleship is something that costs us everything, and yet gives us everything, and so we should be cognizant of that and remember those who sacrificed and who were put to death for their faith. Now, I hope that doesn't happen to any of you. I hope it doesn't happen today in Newton. I don't think it will. I think the authorities are a little bit kinder than Herod. But always remember that it doesn't take much for the authorities to suddenly decide, can't put up with these Christians. And we don't want that either. So let's behave ourselves, as St. Paul would say, paraphrasing. Let's be good, and let's be faithful and follow Jesus always. And we will see you tomorrow, Wednesday morning. Until then, have a great Christmas tide.